Welcome to Insights into a Soul, the podcast that no one asked for. This is a podcast about life, love, and everything in between. So grab a cup of coffee and relax, and join me as we gain insights into a soul. What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Insights into a Soul. I'm your host, Torin. I am back with a new episode. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. There's been a lot going on in life, as you know from the podcast. It's been a few weeks since I released one. I've moved, so I'm finally settled into the new place. Lots of stuff has been going on in life. Work has been busy. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. But overall, life is good. I can't complain. So that's kind of it. And it's honestly, let's just be real. It's been a struggle lately to do these podcasts. It hasn't been easy. It's a challenge. So let's kind of just dive back in, right? I guess I just wanted to come back with an episode tonight, kind of season 2. I guess we could maybe call this, I don't know if I started season 2, but let's just call this season 2. And, let's just kind of go back to basics and go, what is Insights into a Soul? I think it's a great question, isn't it? I've done a number of these episodes, 21 of them, and a lot of them have been focused on my personal journey and the changes that have been going on in my life over the past year, really. Gosh. Well, it hasn't been quite a year for Insights, but it's been a year since my life kind of radically changed. So in that respect, yeah, it's been almost a year. But it's been, it's been a struggle lately to do the podcasts. Not because I don't want to. As I've said on the podcast in the past, this is my personal therapy, and I've seen how the podcast has helped myself, but also how it's helped other people. It's not that I don't enjoy doing the podcast. I do. I think I've been lacking in inspiration and motivation. I've been going through some ups and downs emotionally and psychologically, mentally, and all that. Psychologically sounds too formal, but I've just been going through some emotional ups and downs. Nothing major. Overall, it's better. I'm better. Overall, things are good. But it's been a struggle to come up with content. And, I think that the struggle is being able to focus my thoughts, being able to figure out what to actually zero in on and what to put out there, what to say. I've often have these thoughts in the back of my head. I think we all do. I have several thoughts, honestly. And I think we can relate to this. We have these thoughts. I'm an overthinker, all right? If we want to get into Enneagrams and stuff, I'm a 2W3 on the disc. I'm a high. I think it was a high C. I'm very much like a thinker and an overthinker to a fault. I sometimes spend too much time in my head, but I often have these thoughts in the back of my head, who cares what I have to say? Just who cares? People don't care what I have to say. What am I doing this for? And then I don't want to sound pitiful. I don't want to sound like I'm whining on this podcast, or that I'm just oh, woe is me. I know everybody's got issues and struggles, and I don't want to come across like I'm asking for pity or anything like that. I think that's definitely the message I don't want to convey. I think more than anything, as we've said before, this podcast is about authenticity and vulnerability, and I think that's another side of it. I want to give people a voice, a platform. I want to help empower people to feel that they can talk and they can be vulnerable. They can be, it's okay to be you. It's okay to be authentic. Don't be afraid of that. And then I've also had the thoughts of maybe I should just keep the issues to myself. Maybe I should just keep these thoughts to myself. Because again, my intent on this podcast is never to speak ill of anyone, or paint myself out to be the hero in any situation. I try to be very careful of that. So, I try to be respectful of other people's situations and stuff, and just lay out the facts and whatnot, blah, 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 yada, yada. But I've had that thing, maybe I've debated on deleting my podcast and just dumping it in the trash and forgoing the whole thing. I get in these swings, and and I read this. I was writing this at dinner tonight. I'm trying to get in the habit of writing things. So I read this now and I realize how harsh I am on myself. But that's a whole nother episode, so stay tuned for that one about self-care, self-love, being too harsh on yourself. But, back to the self-sabotaging thoughts for right now. And I think that's something we all do. We all have these self-sabotaging thoughts, whatever it is that we do. Whether it's our career, whether it's relationships, whether it's friendships, hobbies even. We tend to self-sabotage ourselves. And, maybe we're artists and we create something. We're photographers or we're video creators. And we sabotage ourselves by saying, nobody cares what I make. I'm not that great. My stuff doesn't look that good. Nobody wants to hear my thoughts. Nobody cares what I have to say. Everybody else has their own issues, their own problems. Why would they care what I have to say? And, if you step back and you really think for a minute and you stop self-sabotaging yourself, you stop speaking negatively about yourself, you start to realize other people have these thoughts as well. Everybody has thoughts like this. Everybody's concerned with what other people think. Everybody cares. Not everybody, but a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there. So let's back up. Not everybody. But, I think a lot of us think similarly. We struggle. We worry that we're good enough. We worry that people care what we have to say. We all have a voice, a creative voice, whether it's writing, painting, photography, anything like that, even creating video content. We have a voice, and I think those voices need to be heard. So for me, this is an art form of mine. And the cat's meowing. He'll go away. But I think this is an art form of mine. This is a platform that I have that I can use. And, we've talked about on episodes before, and I've had people message me. And thank you for the messages, because people have told me how it's helped them and it's inspired them to do things on their own. And I think that's part of the thing that keeps coming back up in my head that helps motivate me towards the future. I've really had to step back and just think about things. And so, I think it's time to relaunch the podcast, to do some things differently. Not relaunch, just not even a rebrand. It's Insights into a Soul, and it's going to stay that. But I think it's time to version 2.0, the next evolution of Insights into a Soul. The cat meowing. I haven't seen him all day, and you think like he's going to die because I don't see him for another 20 minutes. It's weird for him when I'm out of the house. But I think it's time for version 2.0. It's time to relaunch the podcast and time to approach it from a new angle, because it's been a while. The podcast up until now has been heavily about my relationship and the way it's ended and the new chapter in my life. And I think I'm finally to the point where I feel comfortable with myself. I'm happy with who I am and where I am. So I think it's time. Let's just call it season 2. Let's just call it the next evolution, the next chapter. I've grown a lot. It's been almost a year since my separation, since my wife left. I'm single. Like I am single. Like we've had great conversations, and we're not getting back together. It's not going to go that way. There's no chance of it. And that's fine. She's got to do what's best for her, and I've got to do what's best for me. But it's time for the next evolution of myself, and it's been a year now. So I think with Insights, I want to be more regular with it. For a while I was doing every week, and I think I want to still continue in some sort of regular cadence. But I'm going to be more intentional about the content that I have. So I think I'll still do some of these personal journals that are just my solo episodes, but I really want to be more intentional. Like, if you haven't listened to it, go listen to the last episode with Afro Brutality. That was a great episode. I was very fortunate to have him on, to have Sin from Afro Brutality, because the guy is just like hardcore motivation and very real about things. And, that's been a big thing, is having those close friends to me that can be real and harsh, not harsh, but like, hey, snap out of it, you're being a real dick right now. But that can be just honest with me and help me through these times, these struggles. So I guess this episode is episode 2.0. It's Insights into a Soul 2.0. You know, it's a fresh beginning, a new start. And I want to be more intentional. Like, I've already gotten outlines for 4 episodes written out, and I might start doing some of these video episodes. I don't know. Does anybody want to watch me? I don't know. People want to sit and watch me talk into the camera. Okay, cool. So there we are. Insights into a Soul. You know, what is it? It's personal therapy, but I think it's growing into so much more than just that. I think every episode at the end of the day, if it doesn't help me, it's not going to help somebody else. So I have to be very intentional about what I talk about and what I choose to share, because I think, you know, people do need to hear it. People do need that voice to help them, and I want to be that voice. You know, I want to continue to provide support and inspiration, and I think we're going to branch out, and I want to do stuff. You know, I've got some people that are into health and fitness, and I want to bring them on, talk about health and fitness. I've got some friends that are creatives. I want to bring them in to talk about creativity and just like expressing yourself through that, because again, at the end of the day, this podcast is a portrait of someone's soul. It's a portrait of my soul, but I want to start bringing other people into the fold more and show you portraits of their souls, their insights into their souls even. Wow. You know, like Sin, we sat down and talked to him and got to know about his soul. And, you know, my friends that have been on the podcast before, we've talked about their struggles and things. And it's not always, it doesn't have to be a struggle. You know, sometimes it can just be inspiration. So yeah. Insights into a Soul, version 2.0. You know, sometimes I think we have to get to this point where we put a stake in the ground and we say, hey, let's stop. Let's reflect on the past year. Let's reflect on the past time period and see how far we've come. And that's what I'm doing with the podcast, but with myself. You know, let's see how far I've come. I'm way less depressed than I used to be. I handle conflicts better. I'm overall more positive. My anxiety is next to none. I'm more motivated all around. I just feel better about myself. I've been working out. You know, I've been in a very solid workout routine. I skipped a couple days last week because I just needed a break. But I'm getting back to it and staying motivated. I need accountability, guys. Keep me accountable, friends, and those that listen and watch. But yeah, so I'm in a better place. I'm mentally better, spiritually better, clearer. Still have my struggles. I think we all do, but just that's my challenge to you this week, this episode. Just take some time to inventory your life, to inventory yourself, and see where you are. Maybe you've been going through a tough time, but take a look at where you are and look at where you've come from, how far you've come, and let's get back to it, guys. Let's get back to regular conversations, to regular discussions and insights. Let's get back to inspiring each other and growing together and making something great. You know, I think that's what I'm seeing. Like, I really want Insights into a Soul to become something bigger than myself, something greater than myself, which I think it already is. You know, the people, the feedback, the subscriptions, like I haven't been posting and the numbers continue to climb. The listens are there, the viewers are there. So let's get back to it and let's dive in with some different things. If you have topics that you want to hear me talk about, shoot me an email, insightsintoasoul@gmail.com. You can message me on Instagram, on Facebook. Please contact me. Let's talk. Let's chat. I like talking to people. It's weird. I like people, but I don't like crowds. Like, I'm an introvert, but I love people, and I like talking to people, so this is a cool way for me to do that. But reach out to me. Let's have some conversations. Let's do this together. Let's grow together and continue to push forward. So, what is Insights into a Soul? It's a personal journey. It's a personal journey that you have allowed me to share with you, and that I've been on, myself trying to figure things out. So it's been fun. It's been an interesting road, a road of growth, a road of challenge, but positive. And it's something I need to continue to do and press forward. So I'm excited for the future. thanks again for tuning in. Not a super long episode, but it's more of an update. I've got some other topics already cooking right now. I've got a list here and different things that I've been writing. So I'm going to jump in and record some other episodes and get those out. So expect those on a weekly basis. And, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share the podcast with your friends. If there's someone that needs to hear what I'm talking about, if someone needs some encouragement, some inspiration, or just needs to hear the hard truth, maybe you just need to get out of your own head. And we'll have episodes where we talk about that. I've got some episodes coming up where I'm going to talk about my newfound singleness and how that is, because I'll tell you right now, that's weird. Not sure what I'm doing with it. But that's one topic I have coming up, and I can't find my other topics. So I've got a few topics coming up. I've got, like I said, the one talking about my singleness and kind of dealing with that and relationships and all that. I've got one talking about, like, you're shifting your perspective and where we kind of, maybe need to switch things around and things aren't always what they seem. It's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of where you're coming from. I've got another episode coming up talking about being kind to yourself. Because I think we crap on ourselves so much, and I realized that lately, that I've been doing that to myself, and I even kind of talk about that at the beginning of this episode, is I do that to myself. I poop on myself, I'm bad about talking to myself and talking down on myself. So being kind to yourself is another episode. And then the toxicity of the lack of resolutions in situations as well, and how, holding things in and not resolving things, because you're not always going to get resolution, but talking about it and coming to terms yourself with certain things, how if we don't do that, it's toxic, and it can be really bad for you. And just overall, I think just the negativity of anxiety and keeping things in might be another episode. I need to write that one down before I forget it. But yeah, lots of stuff coming your way. So make sure you like and subscribe so that you get notifications of the newest episodes as they come out. I don't know how you found me today, but I'm glad you found me. But we're on Spreaker, we're on iTunes, iHeartRadio, all your major podcasting platforms. YouTube, check it out. We're also on there as well. The video podcast will be going up on YouTube. Like I said, if you want to reach out, insightsintoasoul@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram, Insights Into a Soul. I think it's Insights Into a Soul Official. Facebook as well, Insights Into a Soul. We're all over the place. So, go connect with me. But thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you have a great week. So until next time, see you guys. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Insights Into a Soul. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to like and subscribe and to share it with your friends. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Insights Into a Soul, on Instagram @TornH, and if you have suggestions for future episodes or topics, or if you'd like to be on the podcast, contact us, insightsintoasoul@gmail.com.